Hello and welcome to Midtone Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Lsd album, Labrinth, Sia Diplo presents Lsd. Also, you're probably wondering why I'm outside in the sun and that. It's because I need to get a bit more tanned and I need to get them vitamins from the sun. I'm just grabbing them now. Some vitamins there and some vitamins up there. So if you didn't know already, this Lsd project is a collaborative project from Labrinth, Sia and Diplo. As if you didn't know already, Labrinth, Sia and Diplo are doing a collab with this album. They do loads of different sort of bits. Lots of the female singing is done by Sia, Labrinth does a lot of the male singing, and then Diplo does a lot of this sort of weird and wonderful wacky mixes. Especially with the first track, Welcome to the World Of, and carries on through many of the other tracks as well, which sounds really strong and really nice. I quite like how sort of crisp it is. And it reminds me a bit like a Flume sort of record in some ways, and how he treats his mixes, he treats the drums, he treats the instruments, and it sounds really good. Definitely one of his sort of more sort of out there projects that he's probably done. So we know that Diplo has made some really interesting wacky mixes in this album, especially with Angel in Your Eyes, Mountains, and also Genius in some ways and another. But how did Sia and Labrinth do then? I think Sia played it very safe in terms of how she usually does it. It's very similar to sort of some of her stuff that's gone to the charts sort of a few years ago. But she does it well. There's nothing really bad about it. She can sing quite well, still has a quite youthful voice, even though she is in her 40s. And yeah, it's sort of like Sia doing Sia in this album, and you can sort of tell here and there she's not trying to become another character or anything, which would have been good, and I think that would have added a bit more of a bonus, but Sia done alright with her section of the track. And Labrinth is probably the weakest out of the three. I know he sort of took quite a while for a new project, about 7 years by now, and he just doesn't sound very good. He sounds very off. Like some of his sort of keys and that, he's sort of missing the notes and that quite a bit. And he just doesn't seem like he's as passionate as Sia and Diplo in this project. And it's quite disappointing as well, because there's some quite good verses in that, quite good, nice poppy, mainstream poppy verses, which would have been good, but I think were ruined by Labrinth with sort of this lack of motivation towards the project. It's definitely more psychedelic mixing compared to what the other three are actually used to, and some of it is quite good. It especially works off in the first track, but in some tracks it definitely feels like it takes a bit more of a back seat, especially with Thunderclouds and Genius and Audio, many of them ones, as in sort of trap beats and that, it sort of bubbles it up quite a bit, and yeah, it's not really that good. Also, another thing as well is they play two Geniuses in this album. I don't know why. There's one where it's like the regular one, and then there's one that they have like Lil Wayne for some reason, and he doesn't really add much to it at all. I think they tried to do it so they could change up as much to say they had a 10th track, because some of the other tracks near the end of the album were slowing down a bit, and they were getting a bit more clunky compared to many of the starting tracks, which are really good and out there. But yeah, it sounded alright overall. So overall, a pretty middle-of-the-road album with a little bit here and there, some good psychedelic electronic mixing with some sort of good Sia vocals, but it didn't really go into that much depth. A lot of the songs were quite shallow. The album was pretty short as well, with only really truly 8 songs on there. And yeah, I think it was an alright album overall. It just didn't really do anything spectacularly well, so overall it's going to be a 5 out of 10. Same as the experience of being outside, because I can't see a bloody thing on that screen. I literally have to do this because the sun's literally in my eyes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this video is alright. I'm not always going to be doing this outside. It's all more as a mimic sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in 2 days' time.